Ach, ist es hier? Oh, hallo. Dieser Sortierkasten ist voller Würfel. Es sind farbenfrohe Würfel mit vielen Seiten. Hunderte von ihnen. Also für Pen and Paper oder so. Der Süßigkeitenautomat wurde zum Würfelspender umfunktioniert und enthält nun Tausende von ihnen.
Hello, I'm Nia.
Eine vogelartige Frau sitzt auf einem Thron aus Werkzeugen. Smaragdgrünes Licht dringt durch ihr Haar.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius.
Sie tippt gegen ihre Kopfhörer.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Ach, die ist ja lieb.
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Oh. Warten Sie, was meinen Sie mit Milieus?
Yes, a milieu is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
Sie streichelt über die Kopfhörer auf dem Tisch.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Okay, ja. Mit Fenster meint sie wahrscheinlich das Rolltor. Sie müssen mich mit jemand anderem verwechseln. Ich habe nicht an ihr Fenster geklopft.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Warum fragen Sie mich nach Würfeln?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Na, ich kann jetzt eh keine Würfel kaufen. Nein, ich war auf der Suche nach etwas anderem. Ich kneife meine Augen auf geheimnisvolle Weise zusammen. Antworten.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
An den Wänden um sie herum prangen Reihen wertvoller Steine und Mineralien.
This person means you or no one else. Absolutely no harm. She would answer freely and honestly.
Ja, die ist süß. Wie sind Sie Würfelmacherin geworden?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Spielen Sie selbst Rollenspiele?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Okay, das fragen wir als nächstes. Was wissen Sie über den Mann, der hinter dem Whirling Inn Rex gelyncht worden ist?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here.
Nein.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
Was meinen Sie mit tägliche Unruhe?
Well, There's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
Sie hält inne und versucht, ein Beispiel zu finden.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Und Sie haben während der Arbeit nie einen Blick aus dem Fenster geworfen?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Ja, ich glaube, dass sie wirkt sehr ehrlich. Arbeiten Sie oft sonntags nachts?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
Verstehe, danke für Ihre Antworten.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Hey, wo sind wir hier überhaupt?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace.
Ach.
It's strange, I know.
Okay, krass. Sie wirft einen Blick auf die rötlichen Ziegel, aus denen die Mauern bestehen. Obwohl sie neu gestrichen wurden, ist hier und da schwarzer Ruß zu sehen.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Der Lieutenant sieht sich in dem großzügigen Raum um, dessen Decke sich in den Schatten verliert. Ich habe gehört, dass ein Fluch auf diesem Ort lasten soll. Wussten Sie, dass die Leute das Gebäude den verfluchten Gewerbeblock nennen?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Augenblick, wie erklären Sie sich dann das Scheitern all dieser Firmen?
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
Plaisance hat mich geschickt. Sie ist davon überzeugt, dass es in diesem Gebäude von bösen Energien wimmelt.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow?
Tja. Eigentlich läuft der Buchladen gar nicht so gut. Es kommen kaum Kunden und sie muss die eigene Tochter ausbeuten, um das Geschäft am Laufen zu halten.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Sie haben recht, das Whirling wirkt eigentlich nicht gerade verflucht.
And then there is me.
Sie seufzt und wirft einen Blick auf ihren chaotischen Arbeitstisch. Darauf liegen alle möglichen Werkzeuge verstreut, von Messern über Schnitzpfeilen bis hin zu Seitenschneidern.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Ja, ich glaube ja auch nicht an den Fluch.
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Oh je. Ich gebe gerne zu, dass es rund um diesen sogenannten Fluch zahlreiche Ungereimtheiten gibt.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Ich bin mehr und mehr davon überzeugt, dass es keinen Fluch gibt, sondern nur Geschäftsentscheidungen und natürliche Marktschwankungen.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
Was denn genau? Wissen Sie, was aus den Mietern geworden ist? Außer Ihnen sind alle verschwunden.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms
Oh je.
under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
Oh Gott. Oh Gott. Ja, fangen wir oben an. Hier gab es mal einen Friseursalon, oder?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
Vermutlich bin ich ein einfach gestrickter Mann. Ich habe wirklich keine Meinung zu Frisuren.
Me neither. I just want it off my face.
Schiebt sich eine Haarsträhne unters Kopftuch. Was ist aus dem Fitnessstudio geworden?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Aha. Klingt eigentlich ganz gut. Und wer war Artemitep?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym as his way of giving back.
Vielleicht wäre das genau das, was Kuno braucht. Ein Boxclub mit Kameradschaft und Zusammenhalt.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
Er ist ein kleiner, missratener Rotschopf, der Spaß daran hat, Leichen zu schänden.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
Sie blickt aus dem Fenster. Momentan ist es dort seltsam still.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
Ich glaube auch. Und hat dieses Sozialprojekt funktioniert?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Oh,
You should have known it.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
was hat es mit den kaputten Fenstern auf sich?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed? And they
Okay.
never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Es ist echt schade wegen der Fenster. Nach diesem Milieu werde ich sie gar nicht erst fragen.
Yeah, don't.
Sie senkt ihren Blick und hebt ihn dann wieder. Hat hier früher jemand Tiere ausgestopft? Ich habe Halterungen herumliegen sehen.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Cool.
But what drugs exactly?
Ich gehe nicht weiter auf die Angelegenheit ein.
Anything else?
Ich bin auf gruselige Schaufensterpuppen gestoßen.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insektenrechtler, was zum...
The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
Okay.
And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Okay. Also ich persönlich bin echt eigentlich kein Insektenfan. Aber ich würde den jetzt auch nicht einfach, ich weiß nicht, ob die Gefühle haben oder Schmerz, kann ich nicht beurteilen. Deshalb sage ich vollkommen zu Recht, es ist eine furchtbare Idee, Kleidung aus Käferflügeln herzustellen.
At least it had some spark to it. Most young designers just combine lace with leather and call it original.
Sie rutscht in ihrem einfachen Arbeitshemd auf dem Stuhl hin und her.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
Was hat es mit den Rotorblättern und Skiern auf sich?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
Sie stützt das Kinn auf ihrer Hand ab und lächelt schelmisch.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Entschuldigung? Interessant. Um was geht es denn in diesen Botschaften?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Ja, klar. Ihr Lächeln wird breiter, bevor sie hinter dir das Gesicht des Lieutenants entdeckt.
Men like that are a curse.
Der Lieutenant meint es ernst.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait. Forget it. It would take too long.
Okay. Ich habe ein seltsames Gerät entdeckt.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
Sie schließt die Augen und ein Fetzen einer Erinnerung erhält ihr Gesicht.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
Was meinen Sie mit liberal? Was ist da passiert?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
Was ist denn schiefgegangen?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
Sie blickt zum Gang, als könne sie hinter ihrem Rollladen noch immer ihr Geplauder während einer Raucherpause hören.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
Meinem ersten Eindruck nach war es tatsächlich ein ziemlich beeindruckendes Projekt.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
Es ist wirklich schade. Ich hätte sie unterstützt. Das Projekt sah großartig aus.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
Sie wirft 2 Würfel auf den Tisch. Einer von ihnen kommt nahe der Kante des metallenen Tisches zum Liegen.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Kritischer Fehlschlag.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
Im Keller steht ein furchterregender, ausgestopfter Bär.
Oh boy, the fabled Revo Show ICT. You're in for a treat here.
Okay. Sie lächelt und beugt sich vor, die Hände auf die Knie gestützt, wie eine Stand-up-Komikerin, die zum Erzählen einer Geschichte ansetzt.
The place was owned by 2 guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Okay, was waren die anderen Ideen?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
Okay.
And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sie lehnt sich missbilligend zurück.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Fritte does the same thing.
Ja. Ich kenne ein Mädchen, auf das diese Beschreibung perfekt zutrifft. Es arbeitet bei Fried als Kassiererin und ist nicht besonders freundlich.
Employing soaky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravenshaw ICT. And they already had the bear.
Sie schließt die Augen, als erinnere sie sich an etwas Schmerzvolles. Was war mit dem Bären?
The bear.
Wiederholt sie und presst ihre Daumen gegen die Schläfen, als wolle sie Kopfschmerzen unterdrücken. Die Nummer war kein Erfolg.
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
Oh, hoffentlich funktioniert er gut genug für unsere Leiche.
Eventually, Ravenshaw ICT lost the price war to its rival, Class A 5000. Class A 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Ich bin mir sicher, der Bär hat sein Bestes gegeben.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean.
Wieso?
He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Okay.
Scary, but cool.
Megatherion?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
Was ist ein mega wildes Tier?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life
Okay.
by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs. The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around.
Ja, was sage ich da? Zu Drogen möchte ich nichts sagen.
Understandable. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Fast scheint es sie zu betrüben, dass die Erzählung zu Ende ist. Etwas Staub wirbelt durch die nachmittäglichen Sonnenstrahlen. Ihre Augen folgen ihm träge.
Little sparkling embers under the window. Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
Ich habe die Sprechanlage des Gebäudes gefunden, aber sie funktioniert nicht.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me.
Nö.
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
Eine der Klingeln dort ist also ihre. Welche denn?
The one with an empty name card. It's the last one in the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
Ich habe noch ein paar Fragen zum Gebäude.
Sure, I'm listening.
Habe ich noch weitere Fragen zur Sprechanlage?
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work.
Nee.
But sure, what do you want to know?
Nichts.
Sure, I'm listening.
Gut.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Okay, ich möchte einen Würfel bei Ihnen bestellen. Aber ich...
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Ich will keinen bezahlen. Ich hätte gerne etwas, was mir bei der Arbeit hilft.
I think I have just the right one for you.
Sie zieht die oberste Schublade ihres Arbeitstisches auf und nimmt etwas heraus. 2 Polyeder, rot und blau, ruhen in ihrer Handfläche.
Police colors.
Weil ich Polizist bin, richtig?
Not the most original, I know. But sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
Oh Gott. Scheiße. Ich hasse dieses Auffangen, weil das so peinlich ist, wenn man das verkackt.
You overthink it. Your hands can't agree what to do, and the 2 dice drop to the floor and scatter in opposite directions,
nein.
like pearls from a broken
Och,
string.
Mano.
The blue one disappears down the pit in the center of the room.
Mann.
Ah, down the drain, like your career. I apologize, officer. That comment was unnecessary.
Das ist nicht lustig. Ich hebe den roten Würfel auf.
That one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broken.
Mann.
It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. You definitely need luck in Martinez.
Jetzt bin ich traurig. Sie schließt die Schublade ihres Tisches.
Is she pitying you? Good God, she's pitying you.
Ich bemitleide mich auch.
Now, was there anything else?
Ja, wir können es mal versuchen.
You feel nothing.
Nee.
If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Ich belasse es dabei.
She has begun to idly clean one of her carving tools with a dirty kerchief. The tool's sharp edge shining in the light of her desk lamp.
Ja, wir gehen dann mal. Würfel, ist er da irgendwo? Oh, der ist einfach weg jetzt. Nehmen wir einfach jetzt hier ein. Das geht nicht.